Thank you so much. Yeah, we've got some really fun questions that were submitted from the fans. I want to start with Fundora. One that you probably get often is, was boxing the only sport for you? Did you ever consider basketball, or did you ever play any other sports?
Boxing is the only thing I like. I only like boxing. I only like punching people and moving around like I'm dancing, and that's the only thing I like.
So you never played any other sports growing up?
I never played any sport. Nope.
Okay, good to know. Glad we got that off the table. So what is it like now? Obviously, you and your sister had an incredible year last year. What is it like now, the gym environment, with 2 world champions in that gym?
It's good. It's a good environment. She unified all the titles last year. She's undisputed. She's the youngest undisputed champion in the world, so, ever in history. So give her a round of applause for that. It keeps me motivated because, now I got to catch up. I'm halfway there, but now I got to catch up. So, it's just a good environment, and we're both trained under my father. So it's just we motivate each other, and, we're shooting for the stars.
It's beautiful to see, and we're excited to see you defend your title, try to defend your title on Saturday. Now let's go to Booker. You've been through a lot in your life. You've had a lot of ups and downs. What's kept you focused on your big goal, becoming a world champion?
That's the only thing I like. I love being competitive. I'm a competitor at everything I do. So anything I do, I want to be the best at. So whenever I set a goal, it's always high. And I made it to the pinnacle of the sport, and now I got to capture it.
We talked a little bit, we had this question a little bit before, but the sparring partners, obviously it's probably difficult to emulate someone of his stature. So what was the closest you got in a sparring partner as far as height-wise?
I got somebody who's 6'8", I had somebody who's 6'5", somebody 6'4". Just overall trying to get different southpaw looks. Some of them, nobody's him, or else they would be in his shoes, right?
Right.
So, but we're comfortable with the height.
And I think a lot of the fans love you as a fighter, but also who you are as a person. So describe what inspired you to start your foundation, the Go the Distance Foundation.
This man right here. He took me in. He helped me out. So I was working the job. I was working at Walgreens. I had really no money. I couldn't afford to go to the gym. And then he took me into the gym. He told me if I would train the kids, then he would train me. And then that's what I did. I got better at boxing. I fell in love with training the kids. And so now I've started my own youth group to do what he did for me.
Well, we all really appreciate that, and it's amazing what you do to give back.
Thank you.
Let's head to Ramos. How did you get started in boxing? Obviously, we know it runs in your blood, but was it because of your uncle, or was it something else that inspired you?
Yeah, I would say because of my dad and my uncle. They were my uncles trained in my garage, so I was always watching them, and I just fell in love with the sport at a very young age.
We're seeing now so many incredible fighters come out of Arizona. We've got you, we've got Elijah, we've got Benavidez. What makes Arizona so great for training these superstars?
I think we have a lot of talent in Arizona. I think we have a lot of talent, and we just needed the exposure. And we started getting it with David Benavidez, and now we're featured on bigger cards, and I think it's going to continue to grow.
Potential Golden State of boxing over there. Schramm. Let's see what they have to say. Oh, we would love to know, where were you at when you got the call for this fight? Obviously, it was very short notice. And how long did it take you to decide to take the fight with Ramos?
Contanos, Guido, dónde estabas cuando recibiste la llamada para esta pelea y qué tanto tiempo te tardaste en decir, sí, quiero esta pelea.
Estaba entrenando acá en Los Ángeles, así que estaba listo y solamente le dije, sí, ¿tenés alguna duda? Le dije a mi entrenador cuando me dijo, ¿salió esta pelea? Le digo, sí, por supuesto que sí, sin ninguna duda.
Well, I was training in LA, actually, so I was ready from the get-go. And so when my trainer got the call and he was like, hey, we got this offer, you game? And I told my trainer, yeah, you have any doubts? He was like, no, let's do it. So I was like, okay, let's get it on.
Amazing. Garcia, the fans are curious what you're planning to show on Saturday coming off of a defeat. What are you planning to show for the bounce back?
I think if I put on a better performance than last time, I'll be fine. I don't know what you want me to say.
Okay, great. So you're 21 years old. It's super admirable what you've done. The fans are wondering, how does it feel to be on such big cards at such a young age? How do you handle that pressure?
To be honest, the first time I was up here, I was kind of nervous and all that stuff, but you get used to it. It's part of the job, so you gotta learn. You know what I mean?
If you're already used to it at 21, I'm so excited to see where you're going to go in the sport. Gausha, now we'll go to you. Do you still stay in touch with your Olympic teammates? Does it motivate you to see how successful they've become?
Of course. We keep in touch sometimes, but we are busy with our careers and stuff like that. But every time we see each other, it's always love, for sure.
And what does it say about your mentality? You're one of those fighters that just takes every fight the top of the top. What does that say about your mentality?
It's just the way I am. This is where I was brought up. I come from a rough background, and we came back down. So this is how I'm coming.
Well, thank you, fans, for submitting all these amazing questions. We're so excited to see you guys fight on Saturday, and good luck.